If you're shopping for a midsize three-row SUV in 2026 and can't decide between the Hyundai Palisade and the Toyota Grand Highlander, you're not alone. This has become one of the most common debates among couples, usually with one partner loving the Palisade's luxury and comfort and the other swearing by Toyota's reliability and resale value. Both SUVs are excellent, but they deliver very different ownership experiences. So today we're breaking it all down to help you figure out which one actually fits your life. But we need to be honest, this isn't just a comparison of specs, it's a collision of worldviews. The Toyota Grand Highlander is the choice of the spreadsheet optimizer. It's for the buyer who derives genuine joy from compound interest and buying paper towels in bulk. It's an appliance in the best possible sense, like a high-end furnace. You don't look at it, you just trust it to work. The 2026 Hyundai Palisade, however, is for the experience optimizer. It's for the person who refuses to be miserable during their 2-hour commute. It argues that since you can't take your money with you, you might as well spend it on Napa leather and massaging seats. The Toyota prioritizes 10 years from now. The Hyundai prioritizes right now. Let's start with the exterior because these two vehicles could not be signaling harder if they tried. For 2026, Hyundai looked at the Range Rover, then looked at their own design team and said, yes, we'll take that, but make it affordable. The new Palisade is unapologetically boxy. It has ditched the curves of the previous generation for a flat, upright face, distinct vertical lighting elements that look like they were stolen from a Cadillac concept car, and a side profile that commands attention. It has a presence that punches way above its price bracket. When you see it in a dark color with those 20-inch alloy wheels, it looks like it should be parked in front of a modern art museum, or at least a very expensive yoga studio. The Grand Highlander looks like, well, it looks like a very large Highlander. Toyota designed this vehicle with a ruler and a level. It's handsome, sure, but in a government building sort of way. It's a triumph of conservative design. It commands respect not because it's stylish, but because it's physically taking up a lot of space. It has that confident, broad-shouldered look of a vehicle that knows it will be the best-selling car in its segment regardless of what it looks like. If you want to blend in, if you want to fly under the radar, you get the Toyota. If you want the neighbors to wonder if you got a significant promotion or perhaps started a successful consulting firm, you get the Hyundai. But the real battle happens when you open the door. This is where the price difference, or lack thereof, starts to feel like a glitch in the matrix. Step inside the Grand Highlander and you're greeted by a triumph of utility. There are cup holders everywhere. I stopped counting at 13, but I'm pretty sure there's one for every beverage you've ever purchased. There are shelves for phones, shelves for tablets, and probably shelves for your shelves. The materials are durable, rubberized, and ready to be assaulted by muddy cleats, sticky juice boxes, and dogs with boundary issues. It feels built to survive a nuclear winter, or worse, a road trip with 3 toddlers who miss their naps. It's solid, put together with that legendary Toyota precision, but it's also a sea of black and gray plastic. It doesn't spark joy, it sparks efficiency. The Palisade, however, feels like a lounge. The redesign brings a massive, curved panoramic screen that houses the gauge cluster and infotainment in one seamless piece of glass. It looks expensive, like the future we were promised in 80s sci-fi movies. But the real flex is the seating. The Palisade offers relaxation comfort seats for the front row. With the push of a button, the seat reclines into a zero-gravity position to reduce fatigue. Perfect for that 20-minute power nap while you wait for soccer practice to end. The materials in the top-tier calligraphy trim are legitimately luxurious. Quilted Napa leather, faux suede headliners, and wood trim that actually looks like it came from a tree. The Toyota will carry your passengers. The calligraphy pampers them. Even the climate controls in the Hyundai utilize a sleek, touch-capacitive panel, whereas the Toyota sticks to big, chunky knobs. Again, function versus form. Technologically, the Palisade is simply trying harder. It features a UVC sterilization compartment inside the console to blast your phone and keys with bacteria-killing light. Is it a gimmick? Maybe, but parents love it. It also has a digital key system that lets you unlock and start the car with your Apple Watch. When it comes to safety, both are excellent, but the vibes are different. Toyota's Safety Sense 3.0 is the responsible choice. It's standard, proactive, and it'll stop you from rear-ending the person texting in front of you. But Hyundai adds the wow factor. Flip your turn signal, and a live video feed of your blind spot pops up directly in the gauge cluster. It makes the Toyota's simple blinking light feel a bit like a relic from the fax machine era. By the way, if you find these head-to-head battles helpful, stick around. We have plenty more comparison videos coming down the pipeline. Now let's talk about the engines because the 2026 model year brings some serious changes to the battlefield. Toyota gives you 3 distinct choices, all available with all-wheel drive. You have the base 2.4-liter turbo, which is adequate. It makes 265 horsepower. It gets the job done, but it sounds a bit like a tractor when you really step on it. Then you have the standard hybrid, which returns fuel economy in the mid-30s. That's an engineering miracle for a vehicle of this size. However, it's allergic to acceleration. Merging onto a fast-moving highway in the standard hybrid requires a handwritten apology to the drivers behind you. And then, for the dads who are trying to convince themselves they're still car guys, there's the Hybrid Max. This is the 362 horsepower beast that makes the car genuinely fast. It hits 60 miles an hour in under 6 seconds. It's impressive, but it's also a complicated powertrain, where the gas engine and the electric motors sometimes feel like they're arguing over who gets to lead on the dance floor. The transmission shifts can be a little jerky, and the engine note is more industrial drone than performance growl. Hyundai used to lose the battle on fuel economy, but evidently they took that personally. The 2026 Palisade debuts a 2.5-liter turbo hybrid, making 329 horsepower. It's the Goldilocks solution, punchier than Toyota's base hybrid, but nearly as efficient, delivering an estimated 32 miles per gallon. Hyundai's excellent H-Track all-wheel drive is available on this and the standard V6. Speaking of which, if you prefer old-school mechanical simplicity, the naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6 remains. It's thirsty, expect roughly 20 to 22 miles per gallon, but that linear, creamy power feels expensive. There's no replacement for displacement. The V6 Palisade glides, where the turbo Grand Highlander grumbles. Let's move to the back. If your primary metric is cubic feet of air, the Toyota wins. The Grand Highlander is effectively a minivan with swinging doors. The third row is massive. 6-foot adults fit without complaint, and behind them, you get over 20 cubic feet of cargo space. It swallows a week's groceries and a stroller without folding a single seat. It's a cavern. The Palisade is tighter. The third row is fine for kids or smaller adults, but your linebacker nephew won't be happy back there for long. The cargo space hovers at around 18 cubic feet. Decent, but if you haul 7 people and their luggage, the Toyota is the better bus. However, the quality of the space goes to Hyundai. The Palisade's available captain's chairs are heated and ventilated. In the Toyota, you usually have to climb to the absolute top trim to get ventilated second-row seats. And here's the kicker for 2026. The Palisade now offers heated seats in the third row on the upper trims. The Toyota does not. So while your passengers might have slightly less knee room in the Hyundai, their buns will be toasty warm. It's a trade-off. Maximum volume versus maximum comfort. Driving these two back-to-back reveals 2 very different characters. The Grand Highlander drives big. It feels wide. The hood is flat and stretches out in front of you like an aircraft carrier flight deck. You never forget you're piloting a large vehicle. The steering is light but vague. It handles like a truck. It's secure, it's safe, but it's not engaging. The suspension is tuned for load carrying, which means it can feel a little stiff and jittery over small bumps when the car's empty. The Palisade drives smaller than it is. The steering is lighter and more precise. The suspension is tuned more for compliance than cornering, meaning it floats over potholes and expansion joints with a lovely muted thump. The acoustic glass in the Palisade makes it quieter at highway speeds. You don't have to raise your voice to talk to the people in the back. The Grand Highlander, while not loud, lets in a bit more wind noise and a lot more tire roar. In the Hyundai, you're isolated from the world. In the Toyota, you're merely traveling through it. And now we arrive at the part of the video where logical Larry usually wins the argument. The financials. First, let's look at the sticker price. The 2026 Palisade, which is shipped from Ulsan, South Korea, starts at $39,000. The Grand Highlander, built right here in Princeton, Indiana, commands a premium, starting at $41,400. That's a roughly $2,400 difference right out of the gate. However, the Grand Highlander will hold its value better. That's a fact. You can look at the historical data for the Highlander nameplate, and it's rock solid. In 5 years, the Toyota will be worth a higher percentage of what you paid for it. It is the safe, low-risk space to park your money. When you go to sell it, there will be a line of people waiting to buy it because it's a used Toyota, and used Toyotas are the currency of the sensible world. But the Hyundai has a countermove, the warranty. Toyota gives you the industry-standard package, 3 years or 36,000 miles of bumper-to-bumper coverage, and 5 years or 60,000 miles of powertrain coverage. It's adequate. It's Toyota saying, Trust us, it won't break. Hyundai, as always, drops the mic with a 5-year or 60,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and a massive 10-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. They also throw in 3 years of complimentary scheduled maintenance. Think about what that means for your family budget. The husband is betting on Toyota reliability, the statistical probability that nothing breaks. The wife is betting on the Hyundai guarantee, the contractual assurance that if it does, it's not your problem. If a transmission blows in year 6, the Toyota owner is writing a $5,000 check. The Hyundai owner is getting a loaner. That financial safety net has a tangible value that resale charts often ignore. So, how do you resolve the standoff? Choose the Toyota Grand Highlander if you run a varsity carpool or view cars strictly as assets to be managed. It is the sensible shoe. It will handle the abuse of family life, last forever, and sell for good money. But you'll never look back at it admiringly in the parking lot. Choose the Hyundai Palisade if you want to smile when you walk up to your car. If you value silence, tech, and comfort over maximum cargo volume, it feels like a reward for your hard work, offering 95% of the utility with 100% more personality. In the end, the Toyota is the responsible Monday morning meeting. The Palisade is the Friday night out. And considering how much time you spend stuck in traffic, life is simply too short to drive the car you merely should have. The wife is right on this one, gentlemen. Sign the papers for the Hyundai, enjoy the massage sheets, and lean on that 10-year warranty. You can thank me later. And if you're still deadlocked, test drive both back to back. The one that feels like home after 10 minutes, that's your SUV. Let us know in the comments who won the argument in your house. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.